홍다은의 하나님이 사랑하는 청년 이야기.
Hey Chicago, my name is Andy Kim and I am 24 years old and a part of the leadership team for a young adult ministry called The Commons. But before I go on to describe what this ministry is and how God has been working through it, I want to first start with a thank you to Chicago Christian Radio for allowing us the space to share of this ministry as well as our testimony. And this story that we're sharing really isn't about us. We're simply sharing of the ways that we have been a witness to God's goodness as well as just being participants of His plans for Chicago. So what is The Commons? Are we a band, a church, influencers, a project? And we would probably say none of the above. We're just a group of people wanting to see revival in Chicagoland. We want to see Chicago love the Bible, prayer, the church, even more than we do right now. We want to see Chicago love Jesus even more than we do right now. But we're by no means saying that what we offer will bring revival. That's too much pressure. But what we want to do at least is to create a space for it to happen. The heart of the Commons comes from Matthew 14:16, when the disciples are overwhelmed by the massive crowd coming to hear Jesus preach, and they're ready to send the crowd away. But Jesus says this, "They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat." Jesus lets the disciples participate in feeding people, but the source was never the disciples. The source and the overwhelming satisfaction afterwards was always Jesus. That's our heart. We want to provide the songs, the preaching, the prayer, the space, and the community. But our prayer is that God would multiply these things in only the ways that He can, to truly satisfy hearts, bring healing, awaken faith, and draw people back to Him. And as a personal testimony, I just want to share what God has been showing me ever since the start of this ministry. And it's actually kind of funny. Back in August, our first gathering, it was quite literally just the leaders. And it was honestly really humbling. There were so many technical errors, musical errors, logistical errors. We had this whole plan prepared, as well as a guest preacher, but we ended up scratching all of that, for we had felt the Lord directing us into a space to pray and worship the whole time. It was quite literally a mess for just like the first couple gatherings. But I really think God was actually testing us. He was testing the integrity of our hearts, the motives that actually laid behind just the surface. And why? Because He loves Chicago. In the same ways that the Old Testament priests had to perform these rituals and sacrifices to enter into the tent of tabernacle, into this space of the holiest of the holies, God has been teaching me that these are the same expectations that He has for those wanting to serve Chicago. These are His beloved people, and He will only entrust His beloved to those who are of pure heart, sincere faith, and a good conscience. And as each month has been going by, God has been showing me that He loves Chicago more than anyone here and more than anyone could ever. And this heart that we have is not even ours, but merely just a glimpse and a fragment of the love that He has for Chicago. And as I wrap things up, our hope is that whatever basketfuls of bread people receive here, that they wouldn't keep to themselves. We pray that they would take it back to their local church, their homes, their friends, their communities, their places of respective callings. Because revival was never meant to stop at one gathering. It was always meant to overflow into everyday life. And if this is something that you might be interested in, our Instagram handle is The Common Chicago, no spaces, no caps. We post information about our monthly gatherings, and our next 3 gatherings will be hosted at Northfield Presbyterian Church in Wheeling, Illinois. And just once again, a huge shout out and thank you to Chicago Christian Radio, and we hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you.
지금까지 청년의 시선으로 예수 동행의 삶을 전하는 홍다은의 하나님이 사랑하는 청년 이야기였습니다.